What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. This is our Rise of the Forsaken campaign. This is, of course, Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition. I will be your game master, your GM, your DM for the night, Mr. Jumbo Thick. And I am joined by the full cast and crew of the Unfortunate Fellowship. That is Doobie 209, Mr. Jumbo Smooth, and the effervescent, charismatic Pierce Galactic. If you guys care to briefly introduce yourselves and your characters, we will get right into the action, because we have a hell of a session ahead of us.
Hello everyone, I am Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf this evening. I am a pit fighter legend, true son of Ulrich, and family man. And that's all you need to know.
What's going on, everybody? DB209 here, and I play Seamus McGreedy, the bounty hunter general, former road warden, all those years ago. And I am just excited and ready to drop all of my fortune and fate points and resilience and resolve.
Do it all.
And destroy Be'lakor.
Be'lakor.
Ironhammer.
Not Ironhammer. God damn it.
Wrong one.
Bastard. Mr. Galactic.
What's going on, everybody? This is Pierce Galactic. I will be once again reprising, possibly for the last time, your favorite character, my favorite character, Bragadine Bonneau, a man who started out as a simple, petty, petulant narcissist who has suffered great loss, found out that his relatives are the undead. He is not who he thought he was, and has traveled far and wide across the old world. But through these many trials and tribulations, has discovered that inside him, he may not have ever been knighted officially, but he knows that he wears the true mantle of what a knight should.
Indeed. Indeed is all I can say to that, sir. And let's get right into it. So last we left off, the Fellowship had found themselves in a mysterious realm, the realm of Albion, a island continent of mist and magic, ancient in its antiquity, full of more mystery than they could ever possibly unfold. Chasing the witch hunter Cole and his compatriots as they have taken the Liber Praenuntis, the demon book that Marius and the rest of the party had retrieved and oh so vehemently been piecing together, unbeknownst to them, aiding the enemy, as it turns out. However, upon the capture of themselves and the relief of their demonic burden, you pursued Cole and his allies through the tunnels of the Old Ones, which have been fraying desperately in the realms of chaos. Spat out in Albion, you faced many trials and tribulations, ranging from crazed madmen to bog octopuses and demons in the mist. You met allies here on this island, a contingent of high elves, led by none other than Teclis, the lore master himself. Many of these allies have fallen, many to the things I have previously mentioned, and also to a foul creature that has been shadowing your every movement, Talactil the Mad, a lord of change that has been infiltrating and manipulating events, possibly who knows for how long. With his guise shattered, the three of you set about dismantling his demonic troops that he set against you. Many of the remaining elves falling in the process. All of you almost falling several times over. However, after Marius Wolf shattered his magical staff that he was using to protect himself and emanate this field of magic that was sapping the very fabric of reality, he retreated, severely wounded, and disappeared. You continued on your trail, hounding the witch hunter, getting close, when you were approached by a man in a headdress and furs. A truth-sayer, it turns out, by the name of Igvald. He was a leader of some sorts of whatever kind of barbaric people call Albion home, with many kind of effervescent, swirling blue tattoos across their bodies. They allowed you to make camp with them to rest briefly, while they informed you, Igvald in particular, somehow able to speak your language, that you were all meant to find and stop this evil man from making whatever he was to do transpire. And you did find out that he and this other creature that you've seen just a handful of times, this, what he called a dark emissary, were attempting to bring back the first champion of chaos, the Shadow Lord, the demon Bellicor. And if he were to make his presence known, the world itself would fall, not just to chaos, but to the wrath of the first demon prince. With knowledge in hand, Teclis goaded you forward, and you were brought to the edge of a deep valley. In this valley you saw a massive pyramid structure. Old, ancient, a relic of God's past. The valley itself, the Truthsayer informed you, was known as the Valley of the Fallen Gods. There are massive statues that look like they've been toppled over, of unknown origin, that litter the ground between here and the stepped, kind of like Aztec style pyramid. At the top of this pyramid, you could see from where you were currently standing a set of stones, massive, huge. You can't make out exactly how many there are, but you can see them in the distance. And you can also see forms, even from here. Forms moving up the temple steps, getting to that final respite, their destination almost within reach. Igval told you that you would have to the 12th bell to perform this task, to prevent this incursion, this schism of reality. The first bell has sound with a resounding gong. You don't know from where. It's echoing across the valley. What would you guys like to do?
Teclis, he still looks super haggard, right?
He looks, yeah, he's tired. And the two remaining elves with you are also, they appear winded. They appear exhausted.
Mm-hmm. Are they coming with us, or is this kind of this like
Teclis is coming? And Teclis is actually, if you guys aren't moving right now, he's beginning to move quickly down into this valley.
Yeah, I'll probably move quickly as well, following him.
Bragadine immediately goes down to basically walk next to Teclis being careful, like there to offer a hand if necessary, but understanding that basically Bragadine sees him as an elder and as a type of lord, and is going to be right there, basically there to be there for him.
Okay.
Yeah, so right there next to Teclis, maybe a little bit ahead of him.
All right. I will say this because of what is happening right now. Teclis, as he's moving, suddenly his feet begin to lift off the ground, and he is floating. And he is moving with extreme speed now down this hill. And we are initiating a skill challenge to make it to the temple in time. A very important one.
He's flying down there?
He's beginning to fly. He is moving with extreme speed. There is like electricity crackling around his feet and from his fingers as he is moving forward. I'm going to need the rest of you guys to make athletics checks to keep pace with the Lord himself.
29 out of 57.
Okay. You are good.
10 out of 28.
Okay, that is lucky for you. And Marius.
Talk about it.
26 out of 66.
Okay, you are all able to keep pace as you begin thundering. You're not. He's ahead. He's probably a full like 50, 60 feet ahead of you. The mist is coating the descending hill downwards, and you're able to pick up speed. All of you manage to keep your footing, as the ground here is rather moist and wet and slick. And a few times, Bragadine in particular almost stumbles, but he manages to keep his momentum despite his heavy armor weighing him down. All of you are able to keep your footing and move deep down into the valley. As you crest into the valley floor, you can see the remnants of these gargantuan statues. They looked so small from up on the hill where you were. And I will say, probably about 15 or 20 minutes pass as you are descending into this valley. This is a very deep valley. The stones themselves of these statues, as you get close, the mist swirling about, you can see that there are inlaid gems and silver and gold that has just been embossed across these things beautifully, but ancient, as it appears that the elements have begun to overtake these structures long ago, as algae and various other vines have kind of grown up and around them. This is an ancient place, archaic. And Teclis is moving quickly. Quick, follow me this way, don't get lost. And as he says that, you notice that the mist is beginning to rise high. I need everybody to give me perception tests.
All right. Fuck.
Whoa. Really wish it'd been later that I did this, but I rolled a 22 out of 74. So 5 level success, critical success.
Maris rolled a 20 out
Okay.
of 54.
All right. And old Seamus.
39 out of 64.
Okay. Yep. You guys are all able to keep your eyes on Teclis, and a few times the mist does swirl around him and obscure him. The elves are actually, they're in their haggard state. They're actually trailing behind you. And none of them, however, you don't hear any of them kind of fall away. But you do notice that there's several turns and bends you have to make around these fallen statues, these fallen gods, as it was, as you begin to move around them following Teclis, as he's moving with extreme speed now.
I know we're running past them.
Yes.
What do the images of the statues look like?
As you're running past, probably the nearest one that you're coming to, you can see that the features look reptilian. Is just the easiest word to describe it. It appears, you just get a look at like a face that the vines has it completely taken over. Mm-hmm. And it looks like a cross between a man and almost like a toad.
Okay.
It's strange to look at, to say the least.
Yeah.
And it's at this point, as you guys are moving with all due haste, the pyramid is beginning to jut up into the sky ahead of you. You don't have that much longer till you will make it there. However, you begin to notice that there are forms in the mist, shapes along the ground that Teclis begins to kind of move upwards. And as he does, he throws out his arms, and the mist kind of disperses quickly, leaving a straight path straight to the base of this tower. And as he does, you see that the ground here is littered with bodies. Most of them, from what you can see, are crazed fanatics, men with torn rends in their flesh, self-inflicted. Some of them not so much, as they have been ripped into pieces. Flails and weapons strewn about everywhere. But in addition to that, you see strange corpses. Walking lizards, it appears, blue, muscular, littering the ground. Some of them as big as rat ogres that you've seen in the past. Some of them very small and chameleon-like.
Do these, now are they the larger ones, the blue ones, do they look like they might actually be quadrupeds or bipedal?
As far as you can, it would be hard to tell. They're dead.
Okay.
But you can see that they have manacles on their wrists, and they have more crocodile-like features to their face. And they're massive weapons laying next to them in the the muck.
You totally answered my question. Thank you, sir.
The remnants of possibly protectors of this temple that are all slain and dead. Many bodies litter the way from here to there. And I'm going to need another set of athletics tests for the party.
All
right.
Marius rolled a 13 out of 66.
All right, very good.
35 out of 57.
Okay, very good. And
I'm gonna have to use my fortune point. I rolled 95, and I don't want to fail by 6 levels. So I got 5. So 2 levels of success.
okay, very good, very good. You keep moving forward, and you're able to, and Teclis is moving quick. He begins moving to the base of the mountain, and then he stops for a moment. And he quickly descends, and you are able to vault and move across this field of bodies. These strange reptilian lizardmen corpses with weapons kind of strewn about. Very reminiscent of the ones that were given to Bragadine and to Seamus himself as well. Marius, your loincloth looks very similar to a few of the Saurus warriors. As you kind of, you're like, oh, interesting. As you kind of jump over a couple of them.
Do I, bro?
You do. And you make it to the base of the steps of the pyramid-like temple. And you see Teclis quickly descend. And he says, oh, quickly, to me! And he presses his hand into the temple, and one of the steps quickly raises up out of the ground, out of the structure itself, and forms a 10 by 10 wall above. And as it does, you hear ping, pong, ping, as bullets cascade against the backside of it. The 3 of you, along with the 2 elves, kind of make it to this respite that Teclis has created. They've prepared for us. We must be quick. I'm running out of strength. You must move quickly. What would you guys like to do?
Marius is going to take the very last dab he has.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to put a white powdery substance on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to go, Master Teclis, take a whiff of this, and put it up to his
No,
nose.
no,
Hey,
no.
okay. And Teclis will, unwittingly, he got and he, with a critical fail on Teclis's part, he will, and he goes down to a knee, and as he does, the wall behind you begins to descend, and your cover is losing. I need everyone to roll me initiative, and prepare to be shot.
Damn it, Marius. Damn
Is this like a tunnel, or is it just like an open?
You are
area
in.
with a wall?
You are. Think of this
Maybe
like
like
an
an Aztec,
temple. You are just steps up and up towards the top.
Okay.
And currently, Teclis had raised the step ahead of you as cover, and now it is descending once again because he has lost his concentration.
I got a 10.
Okay. And Marius
Marius got a 12.
and Bragadine.
15.
Okay, Bragadine. As this begins to descend, Teclis is coughing and hacking. What would you like to do, Bragadine?
Were we
first
able
up.
to see? Were we able to see where the fire was coming from?
It looks like it's coming from two different positions up towards the temple. The temple is very tall,
Okay.
and it looks like there are tunnels or openings at certain points in the temple. That, from what you can see, there are small, stocky forms that have set up entrenched positions on the way
Okay.
up to possibly thwart you guys from making it to the summit.
Is there any other cover?
The only cover would be the steps. Like, you could hide
Okay.
behind steps on your way up if you would like, or you can just sit here and I will allow you to never be shot once again. But at this point, you guys would all have heard a second bell ring. 10 more to go.
And Teclis is collapsed on the ground.
Yes, he has fallen down to his knees and he's kind of hacking and coughing onto the ground.
If the elves haven't rushed over there, I'm going to rush over there and basically bring my shield up and just, as if to protect him, and just, Lord Elf, Master Elf, are you all right? We must get closer to the edge here and seek cover.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to, I don't know, get him moving with me, either closer to the steps or if there's cover on the side. I know we're gonna have to.
The best you're going to be able to do is, and I'll just give you this. In his position, like squat down like he is, he has full cover.
Okay. I'm down there with him. I'm a little dude, so I'm pretty sure I could do that.
You can as well. You can easily kind
Okay.
of crouch down, and due to the angle, like they're not going to be able to hit you crouched down like this.
Okay.
A few bullets kind of ricochet off the steps above you. Marius, you were next up. What would you like to do?
How far up the steps are they?
They're a ways up. It's going to take probably 2 or 3 tests of some kind, depending on what you do, to make it to the first gunnery position.
Okay. Then I guess I'd like to either do a climb or athletics to
Go ahead, give me a climb check.
Okay. Let's see.
Depending on how good you do, will depend on how quickly you get up this pyramid.
Okay. I got a 24 out of 80.
Okay, very
Plus
good.
I have mountain goat shit.
Yeah, exactly. You are one with the mountain. Well, not quite a mountain. Still, due to its antiquity, there is a lot of the steps have worn down, and I will say, like, it appears that this entire pyramid is built out of like the equivalent of like black basalt kind of stone that has been inlaid with gold. All the gold doesn't have as much of a sheen that it has before. But there are vines and things just kind of growing around all of it. It's very heavily obscured. And you're able to kind of very quickly scramble up. And I will say with that, you will get halfway, well, more than halfway. You'll get 3/4 of the way to the first entrenched position. And as you get that close, Marius, you will see that there are 2 Dawizar with large rifles aimed down, taking shots at everyone. Seeing you lunging up, they kind of, and they start kind of rumbling to themselves. And as they do, you see a 3rd Dawizar kind of come up to the edge, and he has a large bundle at his side, and he kind of reaches in, and he pulls a massive grenade. It's like practical joke size out of the container, and he lights it. And depending on what happens the next turn will depend on where this lands, Marius. So, Seamus, it's now your turn.
So can I see these positions?
Okay, from where you are, from the far distance you are, you will not be able to see them. There's still kind of the mist kind of swirling around here, but you do see Marius's large bulk. The man that is Marius, quickly scaling up. And it pauses for just a moment as he gets close to one of the positions.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, I'm about to move forward then. So I'll turn out from behind the wall and like run up to the pyramid.
Okay.
And then once I get there, I'll look up and see if I can see these positions. If not, then I'm going to start climbing. Okay.
As you get, and you're already at the base of the pyramid, pretty much. So you kind of turn, and I will let you just use your movement to move up. We'll call it 1/3 of the way. And as you get to that third, you can see forms. You can't exactly see completely. If you make a shot, it will be at a -20.
Okay. I have one of those special glowing blue ball bullets.
You do.
I got one of those chambered, so
yeah. I'm gonna assume that you've. I mean, you tell me if you don't want to. That you reloaded all of your weapons with the powerful new bullets that you were given.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, that's fair.
All right. -20. So. All right. I'm gonna have to re-roll that. That was a 98.
Please, no, leave
it.
Leave
it. It's gonna be a miss. I rolled an 89 out of 76.
Damn, you have such a high chance of hitting too. As you, is this with the Thunderer?
Yes.
Yeah, as you kind of raise it and you, boom, and Marius, you see as a hunk of stone explodes next to the Dawizar holding the massive grenade in his hand. As he like takes a few steps back. At the bottom of the initiative count, before we start over, the Dawizar is going to chuck said grenade down the steps. And I need you to give me a dodge roll, Marius.
Oh boy.
Just hit it back at him like a baseball.
Can I do that? Is that an option? Yeah.
No. No, it is not.
It's not an option. Oh, damn. I rolled a 17 out of 70.
Jesus. Okay. So as the grenade begins to, and it kind of bounces off of a couple steps and it's kind of gyrating in the air, you manage to duck down and slam your body down at the nearest step that you're at. And you hear a massive boom. And as it does, all of the mist around this this area, including where you are currently, quickly disperses in a massive cloud, revealing the entrenched position in its entirety. Marius, you take no damage, but you are showered with rock and hot metal as you and it kind of is falling around you. And you hear the Dowies are grumbling to each other something. And then you hear their guns beginning to aim anew. And that brings us to Braggadine. It is now your turn.
All right, so, damn it. I was hoping I could run while they were trying to reload. Is there any way is there any cover for me to run up to? Or can I run up the stairs and duck back down?
There is no cover outside of the steps themselves.
Okay.
Now, these steps aren't like stair steps.
Okay.
These are like 3-foot steps, like 3 to 5 foot steps. So like you're having to like climb up and scamper up. Depending on where you go, depends on where they're worn away. So they can easily be ducked behind if that's what you're trying to do. Now, I will say this, just like I did with Seamus. If you don't choose to make a climb check, you will only be able to get a third of the way up there, and then you will have to make a stealth check to conceal yourself.
Oh, I'll do a climb check.
Okay, well, make me a climb check, and we will get you up there. However, you will be subject to possible fire on your way up.
I am going to reach down to my hip.
Mm-hmm.
Lady, oh great lady, I need your blessing once again. All right, I rolled an 11 on my willpower check, so what is that? That's critical,
Are you trying to imbue your blessing?
Yeah, but that's a crit on that. What's that? We haven't addressed that.
Well, how many success levels is it, first off?
4.
Okay, so I will give you 5.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Sweet. And we're going for it.
Okay. You begin
And climb check now?
so go ahead and give me a climb check.
Ooh, let me see. 16. I'm getting all my good rolls out of the way, though. I'm scared. 16 out of 56, so 4 level success.
Okay, with 4 levels, you can get up 2/3 of the way there, just like Marius.
Okay.
You get somewhat, and you're not exactly with Marius. You're kind of off to a side, but you're able to scale that much up of the pyramid itself. And then you kind of raise your shield and hope that nothing happens. Marius Wolf, it is your turn.
I'm 3/4 of the way up.
You are. You are all. You can see them easily. With your movement, you could enter into melee with these creatures.
Okay. There was 2 that were using guns.
And then one of them has like a bag of grenades.
Okay. And these are like long rifles, right?
Yes. So very similar to the Thunderer that Seamus has. Mm-hmm. But more demonic looking, if that's possible.
Yeah, darker versions. Marius will go up and try to hit the dwarf with the grenades. Okay.
Go ahead as you kind of quickly pounce up there. And the 3 of them just got their rifles loaded. They are going to be able to shoot on their turn. But the guy with the grenades is pretty much defenseless. He doesn't have a weapon in his hand as you kind of run up. So I'll give you an additional plus 20 to this attack. As he kind of, as you quickly run up there. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay, do I get momentum for the dodge earlier?
No, we're not doing momentum for this kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. I rolled a 3 out of...
Jesus Christ.
93.
For the how much damage is this?
That would be. Let me see. 1 sec here. Uh, 22. 22.
22. You easily slay this Dawizar. These ones aren't in heavy, like super heavy plate. It looks like much of their armor has been shredded away due to battle. All of them look wounded, in fact. And you easily just bring your pick down and straight through his head. And as he does, the bag of grenades spills at his feet. So, Marius, go and roll me a d10. Oh, no. No! You guys there?
I think he's back.
Yeah, can you hear us,
Dang it.
bro?
Yeah. Welcome
Yeah, I
back.
don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I guess my internet crapped out for a second.
Is the recording?
What was the last thing you heard?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's record. The recording's fine. It's just
Okay, good.
yeah.
I rolled the 22, and that was last thing.
That's the last thing you heard.
Yeah, you got real upset.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, that's
So-
literally the last thing we heard
All
of
right.
that phrase.
So here's what happens. The Dawizar that you are currently facing don't appear to be as heavily armored as the ones you fought in the past. In fact, not only do they not appear to be heavily armored, they all appear to be wounded. As you bring the pick down, you easily punch through the Chaos Dwarf with the grenades bag's head. And it punches through with a sickening crunch. He falls back dead, and as he does, his grenades spill out across the floor. And I need you to roll me a d10.
Oh boy.
You better roll low.
Damn it. We'll see. I rolled a 5 right on the middle there.
Okay, with a 5, you see as one of them begins to light, and it rolls further away. It rolls deep into this kind of tunnel entrance that these guys have kind of camped themselves out in. As that does, you see one of the dwarves kind of look back, and he kind of points to it, and then the other one is scrambling down the hall towards it. Yeah, that is that's it for your turn.
Okay.
Seamus, it's now your turn.
You said was there a second position or?
There is now, from what you can. So, Seamus, from now that the much of the mist has been kind of dispersed briefly with this previous explosion. Okay, so it depends on what you want to do here, Seamus. If you want to see the next position and possibly see further up the temple, you'll have to make a perception test as your action.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception test.
Was there another option just in case?
If you want to do something with whatever's happening with Marius, then that would
okay.
be whatever else you want to do.
Nah, Braggadine ran up there, so Braggadine will save him. Perception check is a 48 out of 64.
Okay, with that, Seamus, as you kind of look up, you see towards the top of the temple, about 3/4 of the way up. If we're looking this on like quarter scale, you guys are in like the first quarter. So 2 more quarters is the next entrenchment. And what I mean by that is you see that there is several people. The forms are hard to make out, but you recognize, for one, you see the telltale wide-brimmed hat. pointing fingers at the others, and you see several, 3 more bodies disembark, squat forms, move away from the main kind of mass here, and set up a second position. Fully set up a second position, 3/4 of the way up. And it would be somewhat identical from what you can tell to what you are facing now, maybe. And then you see that the witch hunter and his party keep moving up.
Okay. So if they're moving up, then in terms of feet, would they be within like the scope range?
What is your full range?
200.
Let me think here. I've got to think logistics now.
Just ask. I mean, if they're moving up, I'm gonna have to move anyways. But
yeah. I will say this: from where you're at, for you to, so if you make it to the first encampment, the first entrenchment, the next entrenchment up is about 150 feet. Okay. So they're technically not quite. If you moved up now, which I'm assuming you're doing.
Yes.
They would be in range, but I'm going to make this a very difficult shot to make.
That's fine. I still have to reload it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to move up then.
Okay. All right. So you kind of move up, taking stock of the situation. At the bottom of the round, you hear a gong, a bell, as it was. You have 9 more to go. And Marius, the dwarf with the kind of dark thunderer next to you, points it at your chest, and I need you to make a defensive roll.
Oh boy. Uh, 12 out of 83.
Damn it. So close. I almost got to pump your chest full of lead. As you... Oh, is this a dodge or is this a block?
This is a block.
Okay.
With my pick.
As you kind of with the pick, you kind of knock the thunderer up away from you, and it, boom, just charges. Just this resonating sound, deafening almost. And as he does, you can hear the Dawi curse, and it's a foul language. At the same time, Marius, I now need you to give me an athletics check.
Athletics?
Yes.
That's an 18 out of 66.
God damn it, man. As this happens, as you knock the bullet away, you hear the dwarf on the inside just say something, oh, and then the one that you're facing, his eyes go wide, and then there's a explosion inside the tunnel as the grenade detonates, and as it does, chunks of masonry and fire waft out in your direction. And you manage to kind of duck down and press yourself below the opening as it shoots out, and the Dawizar you were facing is launched out like a damn cannonball out of this tunnel. As he kind of flies out on fire. And he begins to burn and cascade down the steps behind you. And you're safe for now. So, yes. Right. So, with that brings us to the top of the round with Bragadine Beno. What would you like to do?
Is there anybody with range that I can get to for combat?
No, they're all dead. However,
that's what I thought.
With the mist somewhat dissipated, you do see another entrenched position up ahead. It's going to take some...
occupied?
Is it what?
Is it occupied?
Yes.
Yeah, so okay.
Now, it's going to take quite a few success levels to get there, climb checks. But God willing, you might be able to make it.
Lady willing. All right. It's a dangerous type of attack, MacLeod. All right, we'll do it.
Give me a climb check.
Shit. I rolled off the table. Hold on. Oh, yay. 8 out of 56.
Okay, all right. Bragan, you begin to scurry up with 4 levels of success. You manage to get halfway there. You manage to... And you see at the next position that you see these Dawi quickly loading weapons. The weapons look a little different, however. Seamus couldn't quite make out all the details. One of them has what looks like a large tube on and it's got some kind of strange mechanism as he's hoisting it over his shoulder and pointing it down in your direction. The second one is loading something into the back of it. A third Dawi is wheeling out what looks like a small pot.
Wheeling out?
It looks like there's a pot of some kind, like a large cauldron, and he's putting stuff inside of it, and he's packing it. And you see that currently, but at the end of the turn, you'll find out what's about to happen.
Does it look like metal and rock and stuff like that?
It looks like stuff. We'll say it's stuff.
All right, okay.
And we'll go with it is now Marius Wolf's turn.
Did he move up at all?
He did. He moved up past you.
moved up.
He's halfway
Okay.
to the next position.
Okay. So on this pyramid, just to get kind of a visualization, we are we halfway now? Is that what we are?
You are in the bottom third, basically.
Oh, okay. So it's still a long way to go.
Yes.
And they're at the top, the tippy top, right?
No, the next entrenched position is like at the 2/3 mark.
Okay. Okay. Cole's at the top, though.
Cole is not there yet, but him and his whoever else he has with him is almost there.
Okay. If I can, I would like to move up, I guess, as quickly as I can. And I would like to try to go at an angle that's not directly underneath that pot.
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead
possible.
and give
If
me
not,
a climb check.
Okay. 28 out of 80.
Okay. All right. With that, how many levels is that? Hold on. 28, 38, 48, 58,
5.
68, 70. Okay, with 5 levels, you actually get 3/4 of the way there. And I will say that you're a bit off center. You can see a little bit. You get a little bit better view than Bragadine since you're a little bit closer, and you can see that one of the weapons looks like one of those foul rocket launchers that you experienced before.
Yeah.
The other one, you've never seen anything like it before, but it has like strange kind of markings around the lip of it. On all of these weapons are very intricately carved with demonic faces and things like that. Very, very edgy. And there is a bit of a glow underneath. And you've seen they have cannons at Sealberg up on the walls, small ones. But you've seen when they load them, they take this long. It's almost like a giant size, like packing piston or whatever the hell you call it. I don't know what it's called, but it's one of those basically. And he's packing down into this large cauldron. But it doesn't look like it's shaped like a cannon, which is the strangest thing.
Okay. Marius wouldn't have any kind of knowledge of like mortars or anything.
Unfortunately, Marius is not an engineer, so he does not know what a mortar is. But
I do have trade skill engineering.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
God.
My years in mine as a miner.
Damn it! then you would recognize, Marius, that you've seen plans at some point that this is in fact some kind of mortar that is going to rain
Demonic
death
mortar.
upon your compatriots.
Oh boy. I'd probably shout out. I don't know if they know what it means, but I'd probably just shout out, "It's a mortar!"
Yes. None of them know what that means. They've never seen one before.
I don't know if they know what it means or not. But.
You would know, Marius, that you're relatively safe because it can't shoot you this close. But, yeah. And that will bring us to Seamus McCready. It's your turn.
Yeah, I look down the pyramid. What are the elves doing?
You kind of look over your shoulder. They're running up behind you, and Teclis is also with them. Looks like he's regained some of his strength. He's moving behind you, further down, but still moving behind you.
All right, I'm going to continue my climb up to the top because I am chasing after Cole.
Okay, go ahead and give me a climb check.
And then at some point on this turn, I'm going to try to reload as well.
All right, that's fine.
Climb check is going to be it's a 53 out of 51.
53 out of 51. All right. We'll say that you make it to the first entrenched position, and you kind of slip for a moment. You kind of and you take a knee, so you don't make it any further than the first position. However, I will go ahead and allow you to make a reload check just to see if you can manage to save this turn.
That's much better. That's a 16 out of 76.
Okay. So yeah, with that many success levels, you do manage, however, to quickly pour in some powder and pack in one of the new rounds that you have acquired, the ethereal blue kind of light glowing out of it, and you have a ready thunderer. At the end of the round, you hear another boom. 8 rounds, 8 bells to go, gentlemen. 8 bells to go. As that happens, Bragadine. Well, first, let me roll to see what happens with this. Oh, shit. Marius, you see the mortar cannon. Boom! Boom! And as it does, you see at the last moment, Teclis kind of, huh? And he looks up, and the round is descending on him and his compatriots.
Oh no!
However, he kind of reaches up with some of the remaining strength he has, and a shield-like barrier forms around him and the elves, and it detonates on the outside. And fire kind of brushes around the sides of it, and he kind of and within a moment it disperses, and he's exhausted again. He's kind of go, keep going, but they are fine. However, Bragadine needs to give me a dodge roll.
Yes. Oh, thank the lady. 13 out of 30, 20, 31.
Okay,
2 levels of success.
2 levels of success, Bragadine.
Yeah.
You see as the second Dawizar, the one that just had his rocket launcher reloaded, points it down in your direction and goes, ha, 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 ha. And you are encompassed in a fiery ball of death, Bragadine. Okay. You move to dodge beneath the steps, so you won't take the full amount of damage, but you are going to take 12 wounds to your heaviestly armored area, so you can negate it with your armor plus your toughness. And you would be lit on fire. However, Bragadine, the flames don't catch on the crackling energy field that is encompassing your body that has its roots stemming from the reliquary of the lady at your hip. You are immune to being lit on fire while this is when it is going.
Praise the lady.
All right, and with that, that is the end of that. So that brings me now up to Marius Wolf. Marius, what you see before you is you see Cole and the witch hunter Cole, and
We're not at the top of the round, are we?
we're at the top of the round. Yes, and I realize your turn's coming up. Hold on, Marius is the one closest towards the top.
Sorry.
You see the witch hunter Cole, and it looks like 3 other individuals. Cole is easy to make out due to his hat. One of the other figures also has what appears to be some kind of headdress that looks like a rack of horns, like stag horns, upon it. And the 3 of them kind of go over the lip of the temple top, and they disappear from view amidst what you're assuming is the temple standing stones. And it is your turn, Marius.
Quick question about the temple. When we look down at it from kind of elevated position when we first started the adventure, can we tell if it had like a flat top? Is there like a flat top to this temple?
It appeared to have a flat top.
Okay, cool. Can I just move up to the next entrenchment?
Yes, you can.
Make it athletics?
Yeah, you won't need to make one because you are well within range. So you can easily get to the next one. What would you like to do?
I will run to the operator of the mortar.
Okay. As he kind of and he kind of looks up at you. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. You get the plus 20 for
plus
this.
20?
Yeah.
Okay. 37 out of 93.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He can't. I don't have that many success levels on the dodge, so you easily just cleave through this chaos dwarf. It's this very like Last of the Mohicans as you're running up, just caving in people's skulls. And he lies dead at your feet. The other 2 were kind of like, what would you like? Would you like to do anything else?
I don't really think I can, but I'll just. How far is Cole at this? Like from where I'm at this entrenchment, how far is he from?
They're going to be like if you are at the 2/3 marks, they're at the top now. So you got like another third to go.
Another third. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to shout out. Ulrich, bless me. And just kind of look menacing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and that brings us Bragadine. At this point, after you recover yourself, what would you like to do?
Didn't Marius just clear out the entrenched group I was heading towards?
No, there's still 2 more.
Are they close enough for me to get into melee with them?
I will say, with the distance that you have moved, I will allow you to easily close the distance in melee. So you can scramble your way up. And you were there.
It's clobbering time.
Okay.
All right. So there's 3 or 2 or 3 of them.
There's 2 left. There were 3.
Okay.
Marius just killed 1.
Yeah, the one with mortar, right? Okay. The closest one.
All right, just go ahead and give me an attack roll. This will be the one that's actually holding the rocket launcher.
All right, that's going to be 47 out of 70. 2 levels of success.
2 levels of success. With that, you are able to drive your sword, this weapon that you have not wielded before. It's a little different. It is light, however. and it easily passes through the kind of chain, kind of ripped, tattered remnants of armor that this Dawizar has, and you just straight through the heart. And you rip it out, and he kind of falls past you down the steps, bouncing a couple times. There's one left. Can you do anything else, or is that it for you?
I only have an attack. If I have any more movement, I'm gonna try and get just right up in his face.
You're already in melee.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be able to take a shot at me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. That will bring us to Seamus McCready. It is your turn. The witch hunter and his compatriots are over the lip at this point.
Of course.
Out of sight. Very, auspiciously. It's almost like they knew you were coming.
I know. In that case, I will stow everything, and I am just going to haul as much ass up this pyramid as I can.
Okay, give me a climb roll.
Oh shit, it's a 44 out of 51.
Okay, I will say that you're able to, with the 44, I will say that you're able to pass the entrenched position that Marius and Bragadine are at. You're able to get an additional, you're going to get almost to the top. You're getting close. Like, you're not going to have to make a check to get to the top the next round.
Okay.
But you cannot see them, though, yet.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right. And at the end of the round, another boom. 7 bells, gentlemen. 7 bells to go until chaos will reign. As that happens, the remaining Dawizar between Marius and Bragadine, eyes wide with fury, spats something out in his kind of debased version of Kozlead, and reaches down into kind of an area next to Bragadine that has what looks like what they were loading into the mortar. And he grabs one of them and sparks something. I need Bragadine and Marius to give me dodge rolls.
Oh boy.
I'm going to start running out of luck on these.
I'm going to have to re-roll. I rolled rather poorly. I rolled a 6.
Okay, you were fine. How about Bragadine?
I rolled a 27 out of 28.
Okay, Bragadine. However, here's what happens. He and you see the fuse snake into the ball, and he kind of starts to laugh. Very Predator-like.
Yeah.
As Marius kind of jumps out of the way, Bragadine, you bring your shield up, and you move to jump, and you slip for a moment, and you go down a step below. You hit hard. However, the explosion misses you, Bragadine, just barely. Blows out above you. There is masonry and just debris everywhere. Massive explosion. Cracks form in the pyramid, branching out across. Bragadine, you lose some ground, but you are okay.
I thought you were going to have me blown off the entire thing.
No, not yet. Don't worry, that might be coming. As that happens, you regain your footing, Bragadine, and it is your turn.
All right, let's get back up there and get in the business.
Okay, go ahead and give me a climb roll.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. With that, I will say that you're able to make it behind Seamus, just barely, because you fell a little bit further down the pyramid. I didn't even bother rolling for fall damage because with your armor, with your magical armor in place, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you manage to kind of recover yourself and get your best movements forward, and you're slightly behind Seamus.
Okay.
And that will bring us to Marius Wolf. Give me a climb check to get further up this. Well, actually, I forgot. I should have done this before Bragadine ended his turn, but we'll do it now as he makes it behind Seamus. Marius, you see as the cracks kind of form in the masonry, you see as two forms. Well, essentially, you see the tips of the horns of the evil sorcerer of some kind, the Dark Emissary.
Tarkag. Yeah.
He was with Tarkag. You don't see the full body, but you see the horns, and you see a hand outstretched overwards, and then you hear rumbling, boom, 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 and you look down, and you don't see anything, but then you look to the sides of the pyramid, to your left and to your right. There's several 100 feet across. This thing is massive. Mm-hmm. But you see around your left side a massive hand onto the side of the pyramid, and then a hideous face, humanoid. The skin is molten and discolored. It has hair, somewhat scraggly bits, a massive gap-toothed grin, a giant, literally, peers around the side to your left.
Bound to happen.
And then you look to your right, and there's another hand, and then a second hand, and then a second giant pulls itself out to the side of this temple. And they each have giant clubs in their hands. Marius, it's your turn. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do?
Are these giants so tall that they are like level with us, or are
they are kind of on the pyramid a little bit, and you're surprised it's holding their weight. It might not hold it for long, but they are kind of on the sides of the pyramid, and their heads are at height with you, and they're standing like maybe a third up the pyramid. So they are gargantuan.
Whew. All right. I guess I'm gonna try to scramble up.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a climb check.
Okay. Shit, I rolled a 1.
Okay. Yeah. With that, I will say this, Marius. I'm gonna do a little bit of exposition since you have made it to the top. However, you're going to have options here. Okay. First, I'm going to tell you what happens. First off, you hear as these giants kind of rumble around, you hear behind you, "Damn! Go ahead! We'll hold them off!" And Teclis flies above you all. And you see him, arcs of lightning begin to burst off of his fingers towards both of the creatures, and they kind of begin to fall away. The white lion and the remaining elf begin to kind of scramble towards one of them that's kind of beginning to fall away. "I don't know how long I can hold them. Move!" And as this is happening, you have an opportunity to bring Bragadine with you, if you so choose. Or you could leave him. And if you leave him, I'll let you erase all of the dark stain on your soul.
Ooh, dark deal!
There's a lot of thought going into this.
I know. Picture him leaning back in his chair right now.
What will it be, Marius?
So if
The silence.
I'm at the top, and I'm close to the top.
You're close to the top. You have an opportunity here to grab Bragadine and make it to the top, or you can just book it and just go.
Okay. Wait, damn.
That corruption, bro. You know, you got more than Seamus does.
Sure, it's taking you a long time to make this decision here.
I got a lot of corruption.
Not the Marius I remember.
Oh, you know. Oh,
Remember that
beginning?
scene?
yeah, push him down. You know. The
Remember that?
What are you gonna do,
Scar
Marius?
style.
The smoke shop, you know, threatened him, bro.
It's true. It's true. Marius would probably grab him by his britches and pull him up.
Yeah, you kind of grab him. You know, your little tunic, or not tunic, your little wrapping blowing in the wind behind you.
Yeah.
As you kind of just hoist him up, and you begin moving towards the top. Since Marius made it to the top, Seamus, you're within easily climbing range, so I'm not going to make you do anything. You'll quickly make it to the top behind him, unless you'd like to do anything else.
No, I won't do anything else until I get up there.
So at this point, all of you will be making it to the precipice of the relic of the temple of the old ones in the Valley of the Shattered Gods. And as this happens, you make it over the edge quickly, Marius. You notice that the kind of moss and the vines growing around the top layer, the top few steps here, has a different color. It has more of a purple and blue color to it. Strange. You see the large towering stones. Think kind of like Stonehenge. These are like the massive bulk of just these pillars, essentially. Some of them have arches still attached to them, where there's another stone on top of them. They look relatively simple, very archaic looking, which is unusual compared to what else the rest of the structure that you've seen. And as you get to the top, you see that there are 8 of these standing stones. Directly ahead of you, between the 2 standing stones on the opposite end of the step that you came up, is another arch. This one, however, is more elaborate, and it is decorated with strange glyphs along its edge. There is a pedestal in the center of this very large open space. It is a square space, but the stones form a circle, and there is some kind of pentagram-like symbol that has been carved into the top of this structure, connecting all of the stones together in the center. The pedestal is in the center of this large area. Think like 100 by 100 foot square. Pretty big open area. In this area, you see in the center, there is a man. Well, maybe a man. You're not exactly sure. He has his hands extended upwards. There's a large rack across his headdress. The clothes that he's wearing appear to be leathers and simple kind of garments. They're all very dark, black almost. His outstretched hands, he has tattoos, swirling tattoos, very reminiscent of the people of Albion you've seen thus far. However, unlike theirs, his are not a glowing blue. They are a deep black, and they appear to be almost weeping with shadow or black blood. His hands are completely covered in black something. They look wet and dripping, and where his fingers should be normal man's fingers, they are instead taloned like claws. He has them outstretched up above him, and he's chanting to himself in some kind of dark supplication. The Liber Praenuntis is open before him, and as he's chanting, the pages are moving quickly back and forth of their own accord. You also see that there is, besides this dark emissary, there is a man in a tall, wide-brimmed hat. He turns. He's wearing a dark trench coat with red lining, a bracer of pistols across his chest, and a silvered rapier in his hand. He stands in between you and this emissary. The witch hunter Cole smiles. His goatee much darker than you remember, and almost has a metallic-like sheen to it. His eyes are completely obscured, but there is a dull yellow glow from beneath his hat. Another man stands a few feet away from Cole, fairly tall, with silver grayish hair and gray eyes. He has the look of a soldier of the Empire. He stands there unarmed, thin, looks like hasn't been treated well. His hands are twitching back and forth as he stares blankly at all of you. A third figure steps out from behind you. Bragadine, you notice this one. As you glance back over your shoulder, Bragadine, you see a much smaller woman wearing dark black dress, lace. It appears to be almost leather, kind of boiled into it. Very form-fitting. Her hair a dark brown. Her eyes once gray, now a deep red. Full lips drip with blood, where two oversized fangs protrude from her mouth. A very dark Lady Emma of Frise, formerly of Bonneau, stands behind you, Bragadine, as you lock eyes with her. Seamus and Marius. The witch hunter Cole looks between the two of you. Well, you made it just in time. Our Lord will be upon us soon. All will feel his wrath. Sigmar be damned. Let it all burn. And he looks over. He says, Liam, it's time. And Seamus, it's at this moment you look into the features and you see your own. As your father's mouth opens wide, and then begins to distend and elongate. And a writhing mass of flesh bulges out of his back, and he grows 3 times his size. Son! And he rumbles forward. And that's where we're going to take our first break.